Peace. There's people who always say wallahi. They always say wallahi, whether they're Sunnis or anyone who comes from the traditional Muslim background. They say wallahi. More likely, even those Quran only followers say wallahi. Like the correctional officer, he says wallahi azim all the time. But if you go through the reading, I did a video on this. It's called Wallahi or Tullahi. If you go through the reading, when anyone who's a person speaking and they say by God, right? You will find that in the story of Joseph and proof 12, 73 and 95, and then in proof 16, 63. The reason why I say proof, because a surah is not a chapter. I did my research on it. It's just a policy. And an ayat is a proof. The whole Quran is ayats. It's ayats. So an ayat is a proof. I read most of the same Gamma translation. To me, that's it's the best one out there right now to me. But yeah, an ayat is a proof. I don't call it a verse. You know what I mean? I don't like to use the word verse because verses are in music, poetry, haikus. You know what I mean? These things carry verses, whereas reader don't carry a verse. Anyways, in those proofs, they say Tallahi, by God. Tallahi. I did not find wallahi anywhere. Okay, now, a good example. proof 33:21. There is regarding the messenger a good model for you, for whoever is expecting God in the day after, and remembers God a lot, right? So now we have here. Well, anyways, in this context here, it was all about them having hostilities with the ops. You know what I mean? How the messenger will follow and how they will follow the commands and trust in God and the unseen. Right? That's the context of it. So this has nothing to do with emulating somebody. It has nothing to do with emulating anybody. Here we have to further add strength to this proof. We have here in proof 64, right? It says, there is regarding Abraham and the ones with him a good model for you. And it goes on about what the people said. So the same thing is a good model. The messenger is a good model for you. Here, Abraham and those with him is a good model for you. The same word. And then we jump down here to proof 66. There is regarding them, meaning Abraham and those with him, a good model for you. For whoever is expecting God in the day after, and whoever turns away, then God, it is the free of need, the complimented. It, I refer to God as it. I don't use the pronoun he anymore. So anyone you can say he. I prefer to say it. And also the word praise, I say complimented. You can say praise, you can say compliments. It's the same difference, no different. I prefer to use this way. It just make more sense to me in English. You know what I mean? Sometimes the translations, the word sometimes don't be fitting right sometimes. You know what I mean? How they write it in English and stuff. But anyway, neither here nor there. We move on. And proof 2:134. That is a community that came and gone. For it is what it earns, and for you is what you earn. And you won't be asked about what they did. Another one. Proof 6:52. And don't dismiss the ones calling their Lord morning and evening, expecting its attention. You are not accountable for them, and they are not accountable for you. So dismiss them, then you will be from the wrongdoers. So as we can see, we're not accountable for what Muhammad and them did. Whatever's in the Quran that they did, we're not accountable for that. And the way we live our life in this world, they're not accountable for that. It's just two different societies. You know what I mean? We have a modern era. That's ancient times. The stuff we use to go about daily life, they never have. They never had these things. So you don't have to emulate or do, or you don't have to pray like Muhammad prayed. You know what I mean? You don't gotta do what you know what I mean? If God says trust in God and trust in the last day and you see the commandments, you're not gonna do it the way that Muhammad did it, because you don't know everything that Muhammad did. We know Muhammad, whatever his name is, the messenger, we don't know everything that he did. Or we got little glimpses and pieces of it that's in the reading. You know what I mean? The real history of the messengers of God. Okay, let's see. This is dealing with the word rukuu. We have here in proof 240 through 42. I'm just paraphrasing real quick. The sons of Israel was to remember God's favor and the pledge, to trust in what God supplied, confirming what is with them, and don't deny, and don't close the truth or conceal it. 243. And uphold the commitment and bring out the betterment. We'll add to zakat. Zakat means, I did a video on it. Zakat just means to improve something. To improve, to be better. You know what I mean? Has nothing to do with a tax. Has nothing to do with I forgot the word they use for zakat. Tax or charity. Yeah, tax and charity and stuff. That has nothing to do with that. Okay. Let me finish this. Proof 243. And uphold the commitment and bring out the betterment. And rukuu with the raki'in. Then here we have in proof 244. They wouldn't practice what they preach. Now, where does bowing or kneeling fit in this context? There's nothing here to indicate that the rukuu and the raki'in means to physically bow down, because it is talking about remember God's favor. It's talking about a pledge. It's talking about trusting in what God supplied to them. Don't conceal the truth. Then it says, because all of this part is to uphold the commitment. Aqimus salaah, uphold the commitment. And when you uphold this commitment, then you add to zakat. Then you bring out the betterment. Because what God supplies is a healing for those who trust. Right? Now it would say, and uphold the commitment and bring out the betterment and be humble with the humble ones. Right? And be humble with the humble ones. And if you would see, like, it wouldn't make no sense to out the blue just kneel. After all these commands God is telling them, remember this, remember that. I hold the commitment. You know what I mean? Then just kneel with those who kneel. So that means that you just kneel. I don't get it. We should have said, why didn't it say in bow, prostrated? It could have also said that. You know, it leaves words out here and there and stuff like that. And we say this word here and not here and stuff. This is how I like to read it works. Okay, anyway, we have here in 38:24, and David realized we tested him. Then he sought forgiveness. Then he sought his Lord's forgiveness and gave in humbly and repented. So, from this context, we don't know if David was standing or sitting, or if he was still, or if he repented, or if he did the repentance in front of the people. And then if the chara is falling down, and then in the raki'an is kneeling. Why does he have to kneel to ask for forgiveness? Like, why do you have to physically, you're doing something, and then say you do something you think is wrong? What is the necessity to go straight kneeling down, then ask for forgiveness? Let's in my nose. And if David was sitting down, then that means that he would have to gotten up just to get on his knees to ask for forgiveness. This is just what I read from the context. Oh, the word chara, which means to fall. As I've been looking over that word and stuff like that, the word, I come to the realization it means just to give in. To give in. Like when the angels to Adam, I was thinking, they gave in, submitted. But we'll get to that later. Anyways, here. So the rukuu. So the rukuu means to be humble, pretty much. Now here in the sujud, let's see what time it is. Hold on, let's see what time it is. Oh, 8:21. So the sajda, we have here in 2:58. And when we said, enter this city and consume comfortably, however you want from it, and enter the gate, sujada. So, if the sujada is prostration, then they would have to crawl through the gates as they enter the city. They would have to just crawl through the gates. So, yeah, if God is telling them to enter the sons of Israel, to enter the gates, sujadan, posturing, they would have to get down on the ground and crawl. Or it means go through the gate, submitting to what? The God commandments. You go through the gates, and whatever the commandments God has given you, you aqimu salat, those commandments. You and you go through the gates, you uphold these commitments, you submit, and you uphold the commitment. Right? That, to me, that it just makes more sense. Because if they would have to sajada through the gates, that means they would have to been crawling. Okie dokie. We have here in 17, proof 17, 107. Say, trust in it or don't trust. the ones given knowledge before it. The men here, it says min qabli. It right? Min. Do you know sometimes the Arabic to the English, sometimes the Arabic is just not necessary. Like the word inna, indeed. Or qada, which especially means indeed also, or definitely. It's like, it's not really, maybe in their language and time, yeah. But not in our language and time here, there's certain other Arabic words there, like I'm telling you right now, like you don't have to say, and those who was given knowledge from before it. Those who were given knowledge before it. You know what I mean? It just makes sense in the English that preposition men doesn't really have to be there. Okay, let's go on. Say, trust in it or don't trust. The ones given knowledge before it, when it's quoted to them, I don't use the word recite. I'm not like using the word recite. I use the word quote. When it's quoted to them, they give in, wholeheartedly submitting. Then here 17:108, and they say homage to our Lord. People use glorify, I prefer the word homage. Homage to our Lord. Our Lord's promise has been fulfilled. So here we see they translate this as, and they fall to the chin, prostrating or in prostration, or however they want to word it. But like I said, the kharu means to give in. And when I was looking up James Garen's to the chin, he made a really good point. Like they translated it that way to fit the context of a prostration. But he was talking about the traditional Muslim in his footnotes, and he translated it as earnestly. You know what I mean? So I go through define earnestly. You know what I mean? So I get wholeheartedly. That you know what I mean? I like wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? That's the same, pretty much the same thing. Earnestly, wholeheartedly, but I prefer wholeheartedly. That's it. So they gave in wholeheartedly, submitting. Now, we'll get to explain what does that mean here later on in a few proofs after this. Here we have in proof 17:109, and they gave in wholeheartedly, crying, and their admiration increases. Some people say humility, you know what I mean? I prefer the word admiration. You know what I mean? The khashi'un, you know what I mean? Khashia. It also means like to be in awe of something, you know what I mean? So when you admire, you're in awe of it, you know what I mean? So admiration just fit better. Here we have proof 1958. This is about the prophets. When the Almighty proofs are quoted to them, they give in submitting and crying. Now, whether like why would be the need to fall down on the ground when God's proofs are being quoted to you? You know what I mean? Like when I hear God's proof, I don't get down to the ground. That joint gets me hype. I'm like, yo, nobody speaks like this. You know what I mean? Nobody speaks like this. I know this is God's word. Nobody speaks like this. I get hype. You know what I mean? And when I think about the fire, the punishment, man, I get worried. This is part of salaah. Okay, hold on. Where was I at? Okay. Proof 1959. Then succeeded after them. And here it says min ba'di, right? We don't need them in there. See, and succeeded from after them. We don't need that. We don't need that. And succeeded after them successors, neglecting the commitment, and they follow desires, and on and on and on. Okay? So these people, it wasn't that they stopped doing a prayer. They stopped the commitment of the commandments of God. People pray all day long and break commandments. All day long. People pray to God all day long and then serve up multiple gods. They do this all day long, so it has nothing to do with prayer. Okay, then we have here in 1960, accept. So the people who neglected the commitment, they follow these ayahs. I forgot to finish the proof. So they will meet error. So in 1960 it says, accept whoever repents and trust, which is amanu, trust, and work to make right. Those went into the garden. And you work to make right. Right? That word is a fa'alu. It means to do something, to work. So you work to make salaah, to make right. You work to make right. And it has nothing to do. Working to make right. Working means like you're not doing just one action. You're doing multiple things. Okay, here we have here in proof 8:2. The trusted ones are only the ones who, when God is mentioned, their hearts are alarmed. And when its proofs are quoted to them, their trust increases and they are relying on their Lord. There we go. The trust increases. So the kha'u lil-qan, was it? Lil-adhqani, such a, whatever the Arabic word is. That's explains it. That explains it. You got the what they call the muhkam, and you got the mutashabi. The muhkam is the ones just set. This is the proof set in stone. The mutashabi is the which is similar. They're similar to it. You know what I mean? And you could cause confusion with those similarities. You know what I mean? Like this is something that's going on right now. So as you see, if their trust, that their iman increases, this is they gave in wholeheartedly, submitting. It increases whatever they know. Here we have in proof 8:3, the ones who uphold the commitment and they are spending from what we provide them. Right? They uphold the commitment. So we have here, and everyone knows, we'll get to that later, what the commitment is. We have here in proof 22:8. No, proof 22:18. Haven't you noticed that God, they submit to it, whoever is in the skies and whoever is in the earth, in the sun, in the moon, in the stars, in the mountains, in the trees, in the creatures, and a lot of people, they all submit to God. Here, correction officer, you translate yasjudu, and in 55, in proof 55:6, in the stars and the trees, yes, Judan, you translate this as obeisance, not prostration. And then the other proofs, let me see, what does it say? And the other proofs they use for sajda, as, oh yeah, in the other proof you use the sajda as prostration. And this is a prostration that is always dealing with the people, like with the prophets, or those who trust, or those who get it before you. You always translate the sajda as prostration, but here when it comes to other objects besides the human beings, you translate it as obeisance. What was I at here? But yeah, also because the prostration is a physical act of bowing, we wouldn't be able to see the trees, the sun, the stars to physically bow. Okay, and also I looked up obeisance, and similar words for it pretty much is submission is one, respect, homage, bow, kowtow, reverence. So that's that. Also here in proof 2:34, the angels sajda to Adam. You know what I mean? Here you have it as prostration and not obeisance. And so my thing is this: we never seen the angels. We don't know their anatomy. So how would we know if that sajda that they did is a physical bowing? No one knows if they got 4 legs, 3 legs, 2 legs, 5 arms, 3. We don't know any of these stuff about. We don't know any of that about the angel, because we won't see them until the day we are raised up again after our death. Let's see what time it is. Okay, 35. Pardon me, y'all. I got cotton mouth. I did my ritual smoking my weed before I do my videos. You know what I mean? I gotta smoke my weed before I do, so I'm gonna be cranky as hell. Anyways, salaah. We have here proof 70, 19 through 35. This tells you what salaah is. It is to be committed to these commandments. What it says, I don't know off the top of my head. It talks about, dang, y'all can read it yourself and see. This is the person that do the salaah. Illa musallin, and then it describes the person that does the commitment. It talks about wealth. It talks about protecting yourself from sexual deviance and stuff like that. Like, you know, being with your spouse, your mate, or whatever. Talks about fearing the punishment of God, because no one is not safe from it. Talk about they preserve, they are constant with this commitment. All right. Here we have proof 20:14. This is Moses' first words with God. God says, me, I am God. There's no God, only me. So serve me and uphold the commitment to remember me. But as you read on, you will see that Moses never asked, how do I do this salaah? He never asked nowhere, how do I do this salaah? Because nowadays you see everybody here around this world, oh, how do you do salaah? 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 Moses never asked, how do you do salaah? And the word salaah, he never even spoke that word. Whatever salaah means in his language, that's what he spoke. And he must have known what it was. Here we have here in proof 2:45. This was to the sons of Israel. And seek help in enduring. People use patience. I prefer the word enduring, to endure. So we have to endure this life until, you know what I mean, whatever. and seek help in enduring in the commitment. And it's difficult except for the admiring ones, the ones who are in awe of God. Right? Seek help with the sabr, with the endurance, and al-salah, the commitment. Now, we have the same pretty much phrase in here with Moses. We have here in Proof 7, 128. Moses said to his people, seek help in God and endurance. And it goes on. But as you can see here, in both of these two proofs, the word sabr, enduring, is there. And salah and God is swiped out for each other. So, the salah and seek help in God, you seek help in the salah. If you go through proof 70, 19, and 35, read 70, 19, and 35, you get help from that. You get help from that. Right? You get help from that. Also, you seek help in God. Also, you have the wisdom. The regulation. I call it the regulation. You have the regulation. You know what I mean? You help from that also. Because let me see, right here. Proof, this is why I'm telling you it helps. In proof 2945, it says, quote, was instructed to you from the mandate and uphold the commitment. The commitment prevents against sexual deviance and the detestable. And remembering God is greater. And God knows what you are doing. God knows what you are doing, right? So, the salah prevents from fahisha, right? So God says, seek up in the salah. The salah prevents fahisha. What does proof 70, 1935 says? And those who guard their furuj, their privates, from their mates, or those who are under the jurisdiction of your oaths. That's what I call the old malakat amanikum. Those who are under the jurisdictions of your oath. I don't know who those people are anymore. I don't know if they exist. Right? But God says the salah prevents that. You read this and say those who protect their private part from those who protect their private parts except from this, and that, they are not to be blamed. But whoever goes beyond that, the transgressors. So you're in a committed relationship and you're cheating. You're not doing something, you're not upholding the salah. The pornography, not upholding the salah. Bestiality, not holding the salah. Pedophiles, not holding up the salah. Any form of orgies, the Diddy freak-offs, no Diddy, pause, you know what I mean? The freak-offs, this is, you know what I mean? The homosexuality. Fahisha. If you're doing the salah, it will prevent that. It should prevent that. Okie dokie. And then God sees what you are doing. So this salah that people do, whether 5 or 3 times a day, is only one thing. You're doing this one thing a few times a day. But you could do the fahisha, the sexual deviance, or any detestable, you could do that all day long. So salah will have to be an all day long occurrence. It's not here, here, and here. We have here in proof 984. And don't ever be committed to the death of one of them. And don't stand at his grave. Here, correctional officer, and at 33, proof 33, 43, and 56, where God and the angels do the salat, you translate this word salah as not prayer or litany. You translate it as reaching out. I can understand that. You translate it as reaching out. But if you look up the word reaching out, there's similar words for that. Advertise, broadcast, contact, convey, correspond, connect, etc. Right? So the reason why you probably translated it as reaching out is because if the salah was an act of quoting God's proof, and then you got to fall to the chin, prostrating. Oh, I forgot the rukuu. Put the rukuu somewhere in there also, the bowing, the kneeling, whatever. Put that in there also. That would mean you would have to have done this on people's graves. Here we have proof 1187. They said, Shu'aib, does your commitment command you? Does your salat, your commitment command you that we should leave what our fathers served? This word abana. Well, the Arabic word for father is pluralized. This word is meaning like our father, grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather. You know what I mean? That's what that word symbolizes. Should we leave what our fathers serve, or that we do with our property, our wealth, property, money, what we want? Here about our correction officer, you have salat here translated as communication. They said, Shuaib, does your communication command you? So we've seen how you are changing up the word, meaning of the word salat, when you call out Ahmed, for saying it means connection, following closely, commitment, duty, which pretty much all means the same thing, you know what I mean? But I see you doing this all with the translation also. I got your app. I like the app. It helped me out a lot. You know what I mean? So I use different translations when I do my research. I got E.W. Yorkshire's translation. I got the Manithi's group translation. I got Abdul Halim Oxford Quran translation. I got the Ahmadiyya translation, which pretty much they like Sunnis pretty much anyway. So you know what I mean? I got C.M. McGarren's translation, which I pretty much use for the most part. Even though there's things I don't agree with in his translation, but I'm not going to agree with anything with anybody. No one's going to agree with it. We're not all going to agree on anything. You know what I mean? This is neither here or there. Okay, let's finish. Let me see what time it is. Okay, 8:46. Okay. We have here proof 619. And this reading is instructed to me to warn you, Kum, you. The Kum is, for the most part, I'm not, I'm not included in that. You know what I mean? I'm included in who came after the prophet, came after them. And this reading is instructed to me to warn you with it and whoever it reaches. It reached me. I got to take the warning. And I got to do what I got to do with that warning. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. I get the reading. I read it. I see a lot of stuff is history. The history of Muhammad. Whatever you want to call it. Ahmed. The history of all the messengers of God and stuff like that. The history and stuff like that. So, not all of them, but the ones that God mentioned. Where was I at? I'm computer illiterate, so I do things on a notepad still. We have here in 4629. And when we directed to you, I got that from you, correction officer. I like that. That make more sense. A lot more sense. And when we directed to you a group of the hidden people, the jinn, I call them hidden people because they're hidden and you can't see them. And when we directed to you a group of the hidden people, they were listening to the reading. While attending it, they said, pay attention. When it was over, they went back to their people warning. Earlier it says, when the proofs of God is quoted to them, they kharu lil adghani sujadan. Right here, the hidden people didn't do that. It don't say they did a sajda to the reading. Why? Because it is what's that one I'm looking for? It's insinuated that they did the kharu lil adghani sujadan because they went back to their people warning. If they didn't sajda to it, if they didn't give in wholeheartedly submitting, why they won't go back to the people. They like, I ain't saying nothing. But they heard it, and they went back to their people warning. Okay, we have here in proof 24:41. Have you noticed that God, they pay homage to it, whoever is in the skies and the earth, in the formation of the birds, or know its salaah, its commitment, and its pursuit, tasbihah. There's a reason why I translate the word tasbihah as pursuit. You know what I mean? Because in some cases, like for example, and when God told Muhammad that by day you have a long, prolonged occupation, the occupation word is the same root as tasbih, subha, same word. So it means to be busy, to be preoccupied. So it makes sense that all and that God knows what you are doing, and God knows what you are, and God knows what they are doing, pretty much. So everything knows their salat and their tasbih. So they know their commitment, and they know the pursuit of the commitment. For example, oh my bad, I forgot. Here, correctional officer, you translate the word salah as liturgy. So as we can see, the key word here, and God knows what you are doing. Again, multiple acts throughout the day. Now here, if everything knows their salah and their tasbih, this will have to include Lucifer. Yeah, it will have to include Lucifer. Lucifer or Satan or Iblis will have to be included in all knows their salah and their tasbihah. So what would be Lucifer's salah? What would be his commitment? His commitment is that he hates all human beings, the original races, all human beings. That's his salah. He hates us. He's committed to hating us. And what is his tasbihah? His pursuit? His pursuit is how he go about upholding that commitment. Let me see here. These are a few similar words I found for the word liturgy. Ritual, service, ceremony, rite, observance, worship, ordinance, office, sacrament, practice, formulation, etc. So, as we can see, some Arabic words have different meanings throughout the reading, depending on the context. The word salat is one of those words that has the same meaning throughout the whole context. It won't change. It won't change. Have you seen the one who forbids a servant when he salah, when he is committed? What they do? They prevent people from the path of God. That's what that is. You prevent people from holding the salah, from doing the commitment to God. Like the root word, kaf ra, kabir akbar. Throughout the context, the word, it means something different throughout different contexts. But salah is one of those words that means the same throughout the whole reading. So I looked up some places where salah is in your translation. You have it as prayer, pray, litany, liturgy, connection, and reaching out. Pretty much all I gotta say about that. You can make any video about me all you want. I'm nobody. Just a servant loyal to God's Constitution. Peace.